and I was wearing a white t-shirt. I had a black shirt on the first half of the video, and then the rooster was on my shoulders. He looked all over my back. This is just a real, I've had chickens now for 3 years. This is just going to be a real basic beginner's guide, and just for the beginner. As I mentioned in the video, a couple years ago I got a book. I got a book in at work called Barnyard in Your Backyard, and I read through it, and it was real empowering because I was able to really change my way of thinking that chickens are I've had cats, and chickens are really, the way I was reading it, they're easier. Once you build a coop and you have your birds, very minimal amount of care. So I read this book, and I didn't tell my wife about it, and I popped the question. I said, this is great, we're going to have chickens, we're going to have wholesome food, and we're going to do this. And of course, this is a reaction. So then I started asking around, I started telling other people that, hey, I'm going to do this thing, and of course the reaction was universal. Everyone thinks you're crazy. And that was 3 years ago. And we had the day-old chicks come, we brooded them in the basement, and I'm going to move away from this mic. Closer?
Yeah, you can't sit.
Okay, all right. So that was 3 years ago, and this is what's happened in those 3 years. Things have changed, and my wife now agrees with me that this is the best thing we ever did. Even better than having kids. But even when I tell people now, their reaction is, I can get eggs at the store. And you guys know, you guys are here, you know that. That question is just, the difference between backyard eggs and eggs, I tell people sometimes it's the difference between whole milk and skim milk. That backyard eggs are richer, and creamier, and all that good stuff. But there are also a bunch of other things. Obviously they're fresher, they're healthier, they taste better, and they aren't a mystery because you know what's going on. And we found that there's also, those are the kind of the basic things, but there's bonus benefits. Our backyard chickens eat virtually all of our table scraps. There's some things that they cannot eat, onions and garlic and citrus things. They take care of all the bugs in the backyard. And the concern a lot for parents is deer ticks, and they love those. So. I give my neighbor all my chicken droppings, and she loves me. I guess you can buy chicken droppings at garden centers for like $5 a pound.
That's more than a chicken.
Yeah. They're having a scratch, and they do that, and it's great for aerating your soil. And there's a reason I believe that a third of rural America doesn't have high-speed internet. It's because their entertainment is backyard chickens. They're fun to watch. And chickens do have a great personality. They're friendly. When I whistle, they come to me. Even when they hear me come to the coop, they start going crazy. They're very social animals. And if you get them when they're young and you hold them and you teach them to be around humans, they will. They'll ride around on your shoulder. I even heard a story once of a chicken who rode around on a kid's handlebars. And in the 3 years I've had chickens, I've met more neighbors than in the previous dozen years living where I'm at. Because people, if you have chickens in your yard, people will come up and talk to you, no doubt about it. Chickens do something else too. This is one of our mother hens, a white Plymouth Rock. She was about 10 weeks old. They teach our children and us important lessons about how we should be eating, where our food comes from, and how we should treat our service animals. These are cute kid pictures, right? need to do, before you do anything, you have to check local laws. Some people keep bandit chickens, under the radar chickens. Check your, check your laws. Tell your neighbors. I told my neighbors before I did it. I didn't ask permission. I said, I'm doing this, and you'll get eggs. And I made sure to follow through on that. And they're, now the neighbors bring their kids over. They bring their grandkids over, and they like having chickens in the neighborhood, I hope. And educate yourself. You should probably do that before you plant yours. But I read a lot. Excuse me. There's so many, in the past couple years, so many great books. There's great websites. And you know that, hold on a second, I'll show some of these here. I've got some resources. Backyardchickens.com is the best. It's the motherlode of information. In fact, I found out that on that site there is a database that has local laws. Listen, you just look up the city and tell you if chickens are allowed. The Stories Guide to Raising Chickens was the best book I ever read. It really was empowering. It gave me all the information. There's Backyard Poultry Magazine. Tons of other books. And you know that backyard chickens have become not a trend, but a movement when you see this. There's even a building coops for dogs.
No, I don't think it is.
So you're going to do it. You've done all this, so. Let's see. Happy hens. What do they have? They have a clean coop. Got to keep your coop clean. You have to things have to be dry and wind-free for them to sleep and roost at night. I'm asked a lot about, how are your chickens doing in the cold weather? Chickens, as many of you know, do great. They get this big downy coat, and it goes below zero, and they're fine. We've lost a couple birds to predators only because I free-ranged them, and we had a hog and a coyote take two. It happens. You have to give them clean water, fresh, dry feed, and space. What's next? Of course, now with the coops, chicken coops can be anything from very primitive to, I found that on backyardchickens.com. There's a whole gallery of cool things. This is my coop, and I have the plans for this. If anybody needs stuff, well, we can talk after I get your email. I've got plans for these, and you also, the next step after that is choosing breeds. These are some interesting, there's so many great wide varieties of chickens. But the thing is, you can't, if you're going to, choosing a breed, you have to consider some things in Northeast Ohio. Chickens have to be able to withstand the cold. Some chickens cannot. There's like these beautiful silky birds and stuff that do not do well in cold weather. Chickens, the temperament changes with the breeds also. Some are very friendly, some are skittish. Some don't do well being cooped up, and some do better. If you want meat, some birds are better than others. And broodiness. The birds I have, none of them are broody. I've heard people had real problems once their hens get broody, getting them off the nest. There's all kinds of tricks. And appearance. So that's about it. I also wanted to give a warning. Once you have chickens, things happen. You start putting these kind of bumper stickers. You start buying crap like this, put in your yard, and you've been seen around town with that person.